Hello, welcome to Megan's Ghost. My name is Kara, and today I have for you a review of the Black Baccara limited edition 2020 fall collection. There are 7 fragrances in this collection, and they've all sold out, but the evening that I'm making this video, the 27th, they are being restocked. So I really encourage anyone who's interested in the collection to pick it up before it sells out again. What I'm going to do is walk you through all of the fragrances. I'm going to read you the notes as they're listed on the website, and then I'm going to share kind of my reaction to all of them when I find myself wearing them, the ones that I think you absolutely must get if you're looking to get just a few full sizes. And that'll be it. So I will share with you that this is my very first foray into the world of indie fragrances, and it was all because of a post on the Indie Makeup and More subreddit hyping up Book Fair, which is where we're gonna start. This is the fragrance that got me so excited for this collection, and it really was inspiring. So let's just dive right in. Let's just start. I'm going to read you the notes as listed on the website. So Book Fair is a woodsy, atmospheric. Highlights include freshly printed book pages, ink, number 2 pencils, and a cool autumn breeze wafting through the window of a school library. Right? How could I not be excited about that? So, what I was hoping for and what I expected from Book Fair was to be transported to my childhood, Scholastic Book Fair. There's one book fair in particular that I'm thinking of. It was after school. It was already dark outside. I remember my dad walking around the books with me. I really just wanted to be there so bad. Book Fair did not teleport me. But I'll get to kind of the emotional connection with Book Fair in a moment. Let me just start by saying what it actually does smell like. I would say that this is a literal scent. It is what it sounds like. It does smell like ink. It smells a lot like pencils. You smell the wood. You smell the graphite. So if you were to close your eyes and smell Book Fair, or smell it on my wrist, your body chemistry may vary. It really took me to a library or a book fair. You're smelling pages, you're smelling all of those pencil cases open, filling the air. You're really getting the smell of the pencil lead, and there's a little bit of a sharpness to it. It's not something that smells like the memory of a book fair or that captures the emotional excitement of the book fair. It smells like you are there. There is a little bit of spiciness to it, and as I'm looking through, I wonder if that's from the cool autumn breeze notes. But there's a spice, kind of like you're smelling pencils, you're smelling the classroom, and maybe there's a teacher nearby wearing some cologne, or maybe sitting at a desk, a teacher has a spicy fall kind of trinket that a student gave them as a gift. I don't know, but it's just in the back. It's not something that's up front and in your face, this spicy, crisp smell. It's in the background, right? You're focused on what's right in front of you, which is the supplies, right? The pages, the books, the pencil in your hand. It's just off in this distance is this little bit of spice, and it's really nice. It's really, really nice. So Book Fair was unexpected for me. It was what I was most excited for, and it ended up being completely different than what I pictured. I found myself wearing Book Fair on autumn nights. It didn't give me nostalgia, but I did find myself wearing it when I was spending time outdoors with family. So for example, one night, my partner, his dad, and I were looking through telescope, looking at all the stars one night. And I put Book Fair on, and that entire night I was just thinking how perfect that scent was. Because for me, Book Fair is not a scent that sends me back in time to this nostalgic place, but it is so right and so apt for a moment on a fall night where you're with loved ones, you're outside, and you know that one day you will be nostalgic for that moment right there. So I like it. It's kind of like an up and coming nostalgia. You're living in it now, and you know one day you're going to want to come back to that moment in your mind. That was Book Fair for me. Absolutely love it. In terms of, is it a more masculine scent, feminine scent? I would say that this one is truly unisex. I think it could be enjoyed whether you're looking for a more feminine scent or masculine. I think you're going to be fine either way. Is this one of the must-haves from the collection? I think that Book Fair has a lot of weight for people like me that have that strong connection to those scholastic fairs. It is not, in my mind, going to take you there in that nostalgic way. You have to have an open mind. So if you're really, really looking to blast to the past, I would say that this isn't it. You can skip this one. However, if you like those cool autumn nights, if you like the pencil, if you like making new memories, pick up Book Fair. Next, let's go to Chocolate Cauldron. Chocolate Cauldron is one you need. You just need it. You do. So here are the notes. Chocolate Cauldron is a smoky gourmand. Highlights include charred marshmallow, toasted almond, melted dark chocolate, fire pit smoke, and aged dark vanilla syrup. I probably don't need to say anything else after that, but how about this? Some people don't like smelling like a dessert, right? My friend's one of them. If she smells like a cake or vanilla, she doesn't want it. She wants fruity, she wants citrus, she wants something else. This is a gourmand that is truly smoky. This is also the only fragrance that when I put it on and I smelled it right away, I shouted an expletive because it was really surprising. Initially, that first note that hits you is pure chocolate. My friend who doesn't want to smell like a dessert wouldn't really like those first 30 minutes. Actually, let me walk that back. I wouldn't even say 30 minutes. I say that smoke starts hitting you very, very quickly within a minute. So it smells like that first hit smells like dark chocolate. Not dark chocolate fragrance, but actual dark chocolate. It's a very authentic, very real smell. It's beautiful. And it is quickly introduced to smoke. A lot of smoke. In fact, I would say that the fire pit smoke note is stronger than the chocolate. I don't want to use a word like overpowering because it's not like it's coming over that chocolate and shoving it down. They really do play well together. It is not a smoke. It is not a chocolate. It is truly and utterly both. It's a gorgeous scent. I absolutely love it. It's also a very novel scent. I don't think you're going to find something like Chocolate Cauldron anywhere else. It's a really beautiful, dark, lovely scent. For masculine, feminine, I think that, and maybe people will disagree, I think it is unisex. I don't think that gourmands are often marketed towards men or people who just prefer to smell more masculine, but I think that the smoke really makes this something that anybody can wear and be happy with. It's not a girly gourmand, right? This is something that has this rich and depth to it that I think anyone is really going to like. I find myself wearing Chocolate Cauldron a lot. I actually got the full size coming in the mail, and it's a scent that I would wear probably trick-or-treat night. I can see this. It's like it is like all the darkness you love about Halloween, but with that sweetness of like the childhood magic. So this is like a hocus pocus kind of scent. So anytime I want to feel fun but also a little dark. That's where I'm wearing Chocolate Cauldron. I like wearing it during the evening a lot. Me personally, I'll put on a fragrance in the morning when I wake up, wear it through the day, and then I'll take a shower in the evening and put something on just that's soothing or nice for the evening. And I really, really like Chocolate Cauldron there. It's great for if you're having a glass of wine and maybe having a piece of chocolate, or if you're spending time with kids, or if you just want a little bit of brightness in your day. Can't stress enough though that this really is smoky and dark. It's delicious, it's luscious, it's a great scent. It just has that little bit of sweetness that makes it fun and a little bit more lighthearted. Next is the Gables. This one's interesting. So here are the notes. The Gables is dark and woodsy. Highlights include antique wood, charred violets, agarwood smoke, and fireplace embers. The website goes on to, conjure up this image of walking through a 17th century house. So initially, when I put on the Gables, what I get is that fireplace. I get a lot of fire, a lot of smoke, embers. It's very, very strong. It's just that image. I mean, all of these scents are mild and nice. They hit strong enough that you smell them on yourself, but they're not like strong, knocking people out of their chairs near you. I mean, the image of the fireplace itself is very strong because that note it's precise. It is exactly it. Fireplace embers. Yes. As it dries down, that's when I start to get that image. If I close my eyes, I'm imagining a big, old mansion, old architecture. Every time I take a step, you can hear the heels, right? And it's empty, and there's an echo. And it's a little spooky because in this big, empty, abandoned house, I can smell a fireplace that was just put out. So it's a little bit of a ghost story in a fragrance, and I love that. I love the story of the Gables, at least what it brings up for me. I would say that this scent is much more masculine than the other two. In fact, the Gables is not something that would be a daily driver for me. There is one time I don't find myself reaching for the scent. It's not one that I would say you absolutely have to get. I love the novelty. I love the story. If you like that smoke, I think you'd enjoy it. For me, when I am going to, I have the little sample and I'm hoarding it like a dragon. I'm going to be wearing this scent the evening of the small Halloween party that we're having, because for Halloween, follow me, please walk with me on this journey. For Halloween, I like to do special effects makeup, and this year I'm going to be transforming myself into the Hound from Game of Thrones. And if you don't know, he has burns all over his face, and he carries the trauma of those burns and the relationship with his brother with him throughout his character arc. Very angry about how they wrapped up his character arc. It is not fine, but we're just going to move past it. So this is actually the first Halloween that I'm going to incorporate a fragrance into my transformation. I can't think of a better scent for the Hound, this strong, tough, like awful person but who is so touched by fire inside and out. It singed his psyche, and I really want to have some of that as something that, I don't know, he might smell like. He'd probably just smell awful, like sweat and like blood and meat or whatever, but it's a masculine scent. It really carries that fire note, and I'm excited. I'm excited it can be part of a character. Other than that, I don't really find myself reaching for the Gables that much. I'm content just to have the little sampler. Next is Frog's Breath. And the notes read, Frog's Breath is green, herbal, and earthy. Highlights include green grass, cannabis, petrichor, basil, ivy, mugwort, fog accord, and green apple. Frog's Breath. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about Frog's Breath. I hated it. I didn't like it. I actually sold my book fair to someone in a fragrance exchange, and I sent along a sample of Frog's Breath just because I don't need it. Maybe someone else would like it. And here's the reason why. There is nothing wrong with Frog's Breath. Frog's Breath is good at what Frog's Breath says it's going to do. I'm finding myself, I don't really like those green, grassy, earthy tones. What I get initially when wearing Frog's Breath is grass, and at the very end, just a little bit of sweet. So it's like grass sweetness. And I think that's the apple right at the end of that inhale. To me, it was just too much. Like I struggle to find the words because I don't want anyone to be turned off from this scent. If you like, that's how I'm going to approach this. Here's why you might like Frog's Breath, even though I didn't. If you're someone who is very earthy, if you like the smell of grass, if you're someone who maybe gravitates towards spring scents, right? Like you like that fresh dirt and the scent of like freshly cut grass after a rainstorm or something like that, I think that you might like Frog's Breath. Frog's Breath, I can see being that potion that a witch reaches for. It is an ingredient, right? Just like in A Nightmare Before Christmas, it is an ingredient. And you're not going to smell like the witch making the potion. You're not going to smell like the kitchen in which the potion is being mixed. You're not going to smell like the house that the witch lives in. You would be smelling like an ingredient in a potion. It's a little bit creepy. It is very, very green. When some of these fragrances, I can really imagine a scene or a story or a character or a memory. With Frog's Breath, I just picture a bright green. If that's something that you think you might like, then I'd say go for it. It's a very novel scent. I didn't really pick up any of the cannabis, but I think that my nose just kind of just shut off. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's stinky. I don't think it's like a loss for a fragrance. I think that knowing the notes that you like is going to be really important. I really strongly recommend that everyone, regardless of what I say, like the must-have fragrances that you must have the full size of, I think everyone really should get that sample pack. I loved it. There were a lot of surprises, and Frog's Breath was something that I considered an education. I didn't know that I didn't like some of those notes. So they're small, they're reasonably priced. Pick it up. And anyone who likes Frog's Breath, anyone who's tried it, or maybe you purchase it, come back to this video and I'd love to hear just what you imagine and really how it wears on you, because I want to know more about what that experience is like. I wish I could say I liked it, but I don't. I think that you can skip this one. Next is Witch House. When I mention getting the sample and educating yourself about notes you like and learning more about fragrances, especially if you're new like I was, I think that Witch House is the poster of that. Witch House shocked me. Witch House is the one that almost convinced me just to buy a few full size instead of the sample, because I'm like looking at Witch House and I'm like, I'm not gonna like this at all. I don't like patchouli, so this is gonna suck. No, Witch House is amazing. Let me read you the notes. Witch House is dark and earthy with a touch of fruit. Highlights include black patchouli, plum wine, cinnamon smoke, black honey, blueberry, and burning sage. I wasn't really interested in it. I didn't think I really needed a fruity scent, and I certainly didn't need one with patchouli in it. But when I smelled Witch House, it really shocked me. This is a fragrance that's very simple and integrated. To me, there aren't a lot of moving parts, and I can explain why. This scent does not make me think of a witch. It does not make me feel dark and mysterious. This scent is me putting my face in one of those old Teavana cans, right? Or any tea that you've had that was that loose leaf, had to be measured on a scale. It's full of dried fruit chunks and it's beautiful. That is what this scent is. Witch House is a daily driver. I think that I would wear Witch House all day, every day. I find myself gravitating to it on days that I feel a little run down, don't feel great, or maybe it's just kind of gross outside, or after, my shower, when I'm ready to just relax and have a nice cozy night in. Pretty much any time that I would reach for a cup of tea is when I would wear Witch House. And for fall, I think this is a must-have scent. I can't stress enough how simple it is. It is smelling tea, for me anyway. I think the honey comes through, and just plum, blueberry, I just love it. It's such a nice, simple, it's not a novel scent. And it is, right? How could something so simple be so unique? I absolutely love this scent, and it really surprised me. I could see a lot of people sleeping on Witch House because it's not as sexy as Chocolate Cauldron or Book Fair, but I just love it. You couldn't ask for a better everyday fall scent than Witch House. I think if I had to narrow it down to 3 you absolutely must have, I probably wouldn't go with Witch House, but emotionally, personally, I'm just asking you to buy it. It's so nice. I love it. Masculine or feminine? This one is feminine to me. It's a gentle feminine scent. I skipped Frog's Breath. Frog's Breath unisex? I don't know. I don't think anyone should wear it. I'm just kidding. No, please wear Frog's Breath. Tell me if you like it. I just, Frog's Breath unisex, Witch House feminine. Okay. My first review. Can you tell? Let's move on, shall we, to the Last Carousel. The Last Carousel is what I'm wearing right now. And hopefully that kind of was a review right there, as I just smell it on myself. So the notes. The Last Carousel is a boozy gourmand. Highlights include dark vanilla, amaretto, cognac, honey, and tonka bean. The website continues, and the owner of Black Baccara made a beautiful post on Instagram about her inspiration for the Last Carousel. It's inspired by faded memories and phantom aromas of like a carousel that's long gone, but as you look at it, maybe it's the spirits or the energy in the air, you almost have a waft that it's real and running right in the moment. And this is a divine scent. This one has a lot of novelty. This is a unique scent. You're not going to find the Last Carousel anywhere else. And because this is a limited edition, I think you have to get the Last Carousel. So along with Chocolate Cauldron, those are the 2 so far that I think you absolutely must experience. I put this on before the video because I have a hard time really truly articulating what the hell it is about this scent. It's sweet. It is boozy. I've never heard of a boozy gourmand before, but I think that this is exactly it. It really has that sweetness with just that little bit of syrupy, boozy dimension to it. It does have a little bit of darkness. I can see this being inspired by something haunted. For me personally, when I think of a carousel, I am not thinking of booze. I'm thinking of being a little girl. So for me, there's a slight disconnect with what it's called and what my personal memories are. However, definitely a carnival-y kind of scent. There's fun in it. So I don't think it's a misnomer. I absolutely get the carousel. That booze is just a little bit unexpected, but absolutely delightful. This is a feminine scent. To be honest, because I don't have the full size, I want to snatch up that full size. I don't reach for this. I'm very protective of it. I don't want to use it. This is something that I would wear for a special occasion, or maybe if I'm just feeling a little fancy. It almost smells a little sensual too. So this is something I'd be wearing if I was really feeling myself, or if I really wanted to feel myself. This is something that I would wear, God, maybe to celebrate, like, hey, here's a milestone. Here's something great you did. Let's celebrate with this. This is not a daily driver. This is a treasure. I absolutely love the Last Carousel. And now moving on to the last fragrance, which is Mansion Ghost. So the notes are: Mansion Ghost is a soft fruit musk. Highlights include white musk, candied apple, pink peppercorn, antique linens, and marigold flowers, with the image being of a 19th century ghost strolling through a mansion. This scent is another that I reach for often. Really, really like it. It doesn't have the novelty that makes me feel like it should be rare, like the Last Carousel. This is probably the best smelling perfume. This smells like perfume. This is one of those scents, like when I smelled my wrist and you could see my emotion, my reaction to smelling the Last Carousel. With Mansion Ghost, it looks a little bit like this. Right? It's like an obnoxious, oh my gosh. It is lovely. The scent, it's lovely. This is something I could be seeing sold as like a mainstream perfume brand, but with that Black Baccara kind of twist to it. It's not just a nice scent. It has a subtle darkness. So here's what I picture when I wear Mansion Ghost. I picture myself wearing white, wearing a large hat, walking through, sauntering on in my old Victorian mansion, right? It's an old scent. I described it online. Someone was asking me what it smelled like. To me, it is an old scent, but not grandma old, powdery, floral. It's a very posh old, aristocratic old. It is lovely. It makes me feel beautiful and sophisticated. And so I was thinking to myself, Mansion Ghost. It's not making me think of ghosts. But then I realized, when I wear Mansion Ghost, I am the ghost. I am the ghost of this beautiful, Victorian, rich, young woman, probably poisoned by a lover or something. Oh, I just love it. I absolutely love it. It's a little spooky. It's very beautiful. You could wear this out. You could wear this anywhere. It's not something that it's not, how do I describe it? With the Last Carousel, for example, this is a scent that's a little unusual. It's going to turn some heads, and that might be exactly what you want. But if you just want to smell good without any questions asked, Mansion Ghost. I think you're gonna like the way it smells. I think you're gonna like the way it makes you feel. So that is my review of the 7 scents from this limited edition 2020 fall release. I think that Black Baccara did an amazing job. Like I mentioned, this was my first entrance into indie fragrance, and because of this collection, I am cemented here. I am going to be a collector for the rest of my life because this opened my eyes to what a person can do with my dog is snorting over there, if you can hear Biscuit. It really made me aware of what you can do with a fragrance, and it really brought me to life a little bit. I feel more creative when I wear these. I just love the images, the memories. I'm excited for the restock. I am going to get some more. The ones you absolutely must have. Absolute musts. I'm going to say Chocolate Cauldron, the Last Carousel, and Mansion Ghost. But I know everyone's gonna want that book fair, and I say get that book fair. What I really recommend is that you buy the sample, get all of them so that you can experience them, and then pick up a few of the full sizes that you're interested in. That's the way to do it. I hope that my review was helpful. If you were having a hard time deciding between some of them, maybe this can narrow it down, or maybe it expanded what you were considering. A personal favorite for me is also Witch House. I really wanted to narrow this down to just 3 you have to get, but I think you just have to get all of them. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you come find me on Indie Makeup and More on Reddit. I hope this was fun for you, and hopefully I can make some more videos as I get more and more of these fragrances and branch out into other houses as well. But I think I'm going to be coming back to Black Baccara over and over again. So tell me what your thoughts are. Give me feedback, criticism, anything that could be done to make these videos better in the future, and I will see you around. Thank you so much, and please leave me a comment on what you're excited for or what you've tried, and I'd love to have a conversation going. This is really new and it's really exciting, so let's talk about it. All of you take care and grab those releases tonight, launching at 6 p.m. All right, bye.